Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube universe, what is going on with you? On this Saturday, it is Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, roughly 5:30 p.m. California time. I am, of course, your always gracious host, Fallon from GoNootropics.com, coming at you with the chamomile chairs. Once again, thank you for cruising through, checking this video out. The video today is titled Today's Kratom Stack. As you know, we are back on the wagon, baby, the Kratom wagon, which I'm not the most proud about. You know, it's not like I'm digging into the Kratom bag, thinking about all my quitting Kratom books I've sold and feeling proud. But such is the case. We are back on the wagon. So today, you know, you wake up and don't you look forward to the day's stack? You look forward to going to your little stack station, figuring out what you're going to take, weighing out the doses, you know, kind of planning your day. You're dumping the powders into your mouth. You're dumping the powders into the cup. You're mixing it all up. So today I was like, you know what? Let's just keep it somewhat simple. I'm out. We're out of the caffeine drops. You know, those Nootropics Depot Nalt caffeine drops. Me and Christine take those. Those are great. Probably one of my favorite items from Nootropics Depot at this point, although I haven't tried many of their new stacks and probably won't. So from Nootropics Depot, it's just those Nalt caffeine drops that work pretty good. You take a dropper of that with your morning dose of Kratom, you're good to go. But we are out of those drops. We are out of the coffee. There's no coffee grounds. Couldn't make coffee. So I'm like, what can I take to get just like a little, you know, stimulating boost, right? So I reached for the theacrine, which is similar to caffeine in the way it works. Its function with the adenosine receptors and all that. But no mood boosting properties, right? So it's not something I typically like to take because I do like stacks that give you like a little dopaminergic boost. And theacrine is just more like a wakefulness agent. It just kind of wakes you up, but doesn't have like any of those mood boosting properties. So I took a little bit of that, a little bit of guarana powder, which is like a natural source of caffeine. Not that strong, but will give you a boost. And then some Kratom we got as a sample. You know, you order your main Kratom, and then you kind of get the sampler they give you. A lot of these vendors, you order Kratom, and they'll send you like a sampler, which is usually not that great. Right? The samples, you kind of look at it as like, all right, here's like some low to mid-grade Kratom. It kind of sits on your shelf. You know, you kind of spoon off of your main Kratom, and then you kind of get tired of your main Kratom batch. And so you look to divert and try something new because taking the same batch all the time gets old. You grow a tolerance to the same batch, the same alkaloids constantly coming into your system. So you do tend to reach for the sampler, right? You tend to reach for the sampler. You're not really expecting good results from the sampler they give you. But in this case, this sampler was really good. I'll put a picture up of what it is. This is not like a sponsored video. Nobody's paying me to put this up here. I just found that it was actually not too shabby. Good, solid mood boost, good, solid energy. And combined with the theacrine, combined with the guarana, kind of a natural source of caffeine, not too shabby, right? Not too shabby. So that's kind of today's stack. I typically don't take the theacrine. I typically don't take the guarana powder, but the two together, both of them are kind of weak, but you combine it together. You throw in, if you take Kratom, you throw in something like a solid green, and you're zipping off to work, right? So rare is the case that these samplers turn out to be to be good, but this was a nice surprise. It was like, when something surprises you, your expectations are set low, and then it over delivers the value, right? Over delivers on the value. And it's just kind of like you're sitting there thinking, oh, this is nice, baby. This is nice. It reminded me of a long time ago. So a long time ago, I've been doing computer repair jobs here for a long time, which involves going into people's houses, talking with the people. I've been in hundreds of houses at this point. I've met all kinds of different people. And some of them are very open to telling you stories, imparting wisdom. Some of them just kind of leave you alone. You walk in, they leave you alone. They let you do your work. And others, you get the sense that, they're there for you to fix their computer, but they're also there to kind of have somebody to talk to, right? Many times I get the sense that sometimes people call me just because they don't have anybody to talk to, and they like something new, somebody new coming in that they could talk to. So sometimes people are pretty open. And so this guy, first time I've met this guy, I'm fixing his computer, I'm doing what I need to do. And he shows me a picture of his family, and it's his wife. And he's telling me, take a look at my family, take a look at my wife. I'm like, okay. And she's heavier set, a little on the heavier side, a little, I wouldn't say unsightly, but it's like, you wouldn't look twice, right? Some things you don't look twice. You don't look twice at the sampler that comes in with your Kratom. The sampler kind of sits on the shelf. It's unassuming. And he's like, you know what? On most days, I look at my wife and I don't see anything too exciting. I don't see anything too much. I do not find her to be the most attractive woman in the world. And I'm like, where is this story heading? And then he tells me, but on the right day, if she's wearing just the right clothes, if she has her hair brushed in just the right way, if the sun is shining through the window at just the right angle and I catch her at just the right distance, at just the right geometry, she is the most beautiful woman to me in the world. And I thought, wow, genius. Here's a guy, he's telling me the story, and it took me a while to kind of process what he was saying. I don't know if he had any meaning to it behind it, but this was the story he told me. And as I left, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, here is a guy who doesn't need to bask in the glory for every single second of the day. He's happy to glimpse the glory every now and then. And he's content with that. He doesn't need the nice thing all the time. He doesn't need to bask in the light every single second of the day. He's just grateful for the glimpses that he gets, the occasional remote glimpse that he gets of his wife at just the right angle, at just the right time. That's good enough for him. Here's a man who recognizes when the glory is upon him, right? He recognizes when the glory has been allowed to shine through. The light has been allowed to shine through. And he sits there basking in the momentary glimpse of glory. And I thought that was, it's not too often somebody tells you a story like that and you go, wow, right? What deep wisdom, what deep, profound wisdom in this story. It's like stuff like that is so much better than any self-help video that you'll ever watch. You guys know these self-help videos, right? And most of the time they really don't have any effect because it's like, how could they? You're watching it on a screen. A lot of times the self-help you're watching doesn't really apply to you. But having that real world moment with a real human being just hits. It just hits you a little differently and can change how you think, right? It could change how you think. These momentary glimpses of glory. And certain stories like that stay with me, right? Because there's lessons embedded. There's a lesson to be learned in kind of navigating life and learning how to eat the turd sandwich. I'm thinking about that story and I'm like, well, here's a guy who has learned to eat the turd sandwich and is grateful for those little bites that come through that don't taste as bad as the rest, right? Those little bites that don't taste as bad as the rest of the sandwich. So we are on the sampler, the Kratom sampler. We are on the theacrine. We are on the guarana natural caffeine powder. We are cruising through. Once again, FallonGoNootropics.com. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I will see you very soon. Peace.